Well, hi there again. The body's just set in with its extra bit of binding around the F hole cutout. So I've turned my attention to the neck. I mean, much the same as I've been doing, but I've roughed out a headstock shape, which is actually, here's a standard Telecaster. I didn't decided I didn't, couldn't come up with a unique design that looked any good, and as it's basically a Telecaster anyway, I thought I'd keep to something fairly close to the original. So we've got, what I've basically done is very close to a Tele, but I've put this just, instead of having that curl just from there to there kind of thing with a radius, I've gone up and done that, so it is different to a Telecaster but not differently. One of the reasons why I went for that is because these are the bits of wood I've got left after the body top was cut out, and although I've got this on the end here, I didn't want the grain, I mean it wouldn't look too bad, but I didn't want the grain going off at a funny angle, so this is quite a nice bit here, but thin, but it will cover the headstock in one go without me having to laminate it, do a joint, which I didn't want to do. So everything's worked out there okay. So next business is trying to find a way to veneer this with this. Obviously it's too thick at the moment, so I've got to thin it down. Generally headstocks are about 14mm thick, so this one currently is like about 12.5mm. So by the time I thin this down and add it to the top, then we should be back up to the requisite correct thickness. So I'll get on now and try and thin this down, and see what I'm going to do about the slope here. That's going to be the awkward bit. I mean, if I'd have been a bit more sensible, I'd have done a gentler slope there, but I didn't. So anyway, we'll see how it all goes. Cheers. Well, hi there. I've thinned this down severely now. The old trick with the drill press here and the thicknesser, which is quite good for doing it. It's actually quite a exacting job kind of thing, but well, not exacting, but you've got to be a bit careful. But I've got it down to, looks like about 1.5mm, 2mm, and I've thinned it down a bit more on the end, but I want to try and turn this up around, bend this, but this stuff is absolutely rock hard, so I'm going to try with the pipe bender again here and see if I can turn this, but after the success I had yesterday, probably it will just break, so we'll give it a go. It's quite hot at the moment, so I'll just start off, see if I get anywhere. Sometimes with rosewood type wood, it bends quite nicely because it's got quite an oily, a high oil content in it naturally. But we'll see how it goes. Getting a bit of a turn up on the end, so hopefully I'll come back to you later. I'll keep struggling with this. Well, I was trying to bend it and I've got a little split in it, so I think that's as the maximum it will bend. That split will close up all right. So we've managed to get that bend in it there, which is okay. So I'll try and glue that on now. I think it will take a bit of jiggery pokery because doesn't quite fit as well the other side, but hopefully it will bend in. So we'll get gluing that on now. If I would have thought about it, maybe it would have been better to use a bit of wood with the grain going the other way, then it would have bent with the lines of the grain, but you know, think of these great things afterwards. But let's get trying to glue this on then, and I'll get you back when we've done. Oh, hi there guys, welcome back to 3R Guitars, and continuing this custom Telecaster build. What a difference 24 hours can make. I think you probably got the impression from the video yesterday regarding the binding around the body just being marginally better than a disaster, but eventually getting it done. So like yesterday I cleaned it all up before showing it to you and said I was, you know, reasonably happy with it, and I put the binding around the F hole, and I think you'll agree. I think it's going to look pretty spectacular. I mean, I mean, you're not seeing the grain really well at all, but I just love the way when I put these boards on that I sloped them both inwards to try and get this, you know, this curve around here, and I just love the way the grain shoots in towards the center sort of thing. Looks really nice. Now we've got the binding around here all matching, and then, you know, we'll have the fingerboard on there with the maple binding as well. You know, I think it's going to make quite a sexy guitar, actually, looking nice. The other thing that's really nice is that finally I've got the bridge delivered, and I'm going for like a, you know, medium quality. I know this is a knockoff of a better quality bridge, but it's not, you know, it's not a crummy quality at all. It's really nice. So we're going to have that somewhere on there. All the hardware is going to be gold. I think that will look nice with the reddish rosewood sort of thing. I've also got the pickups, and talk a little bit about the pickups. Yeah, anybody can go along to, you know, one of the more expensive pickup makes, that's Seymour Duncan or, you know, Bare Knuckle or anybody, and they're fantastic pickups, but they are a lot of money. You know, you're probably looking, you know, somewhere around, I don't know, £200 to £300 for, you know, a set for a Strat, probably at least 200, which is, you know, it's too much money for this project. I'd never I would never make any profit out of it, and at the end of the day, unless I make a profit out of a guitar, I can't go on and make the next one. So I've gone for a company I've used many times in the past, and never been disappointed with their pickups. I mean, for the money, I think they're fantastic. So these are two iron gear pickups. This is what I'll be putting in the bridge position. It's a double rail humbucker sort of thing, a fairly common kind of a replacement pickup for a Strat bridge, and in the front I'll be putting a P90. They're standard sized pickups, so, you know, if the new owner decides they want to put anything else in there, I mean, if money was no object, I'd have probably gone for tried a Seymour Duncan little 59, which has got the 2 rows of pole pieces, but is a standard size. And I think it's DiMarzio do a humbucker sized P90, which has got 2 rows of what's it. That would have probably been my choice, money no object. But like I say, these pickups are about £35 each, and you know, I'm just shocked at how good they are. I mean, I'd stand them against anything, and I've put them in guitars for people who play gigs week after week after week, and I've never actually received any complaints at all, saying, oh no, I'm going to change it out, or I'm going to put anything else in it. People just like, yeah, they're fine, they're really good. And so there we go. Let's unbox them and put them on in the guitar and see what it's going to look like. So there we go. We can see down here what we've got pickup wise. I think the cream colour is exactly what I wanted. I think aesthetically it's going to look really cool, and cross fingers it's going to sound really cool as well. I know a lot of people will say, well, if it's a Telecaster, why didn't you use a Telecaster bridge with the plate and what's it? Well, yep, I agree. Telecasters with their standard pickup arrangement and the metal plate have got a very special sound, a sound I love, and Wilko Johnson is one of my all-time favourite guitarists. But this guitar is potentially it's the idea is it's not going to be played in a band that do that sort of stuff. It's they're basically a covers band that do lots of different styles of music, and I think it's just more universal, one of these pickups to get a more diverse sound sort of thing out of it. So hopefully they'll work well, but there's no reason why, absolutely no reason why at all you just couldn't stick a Tele bridge on it afterwards if you wanted. If you decided you wanted to go that way, it'd be simple to do. So by doing it like this, we're not gonna stop it ever being a Telecaster, if you like, going down that route. So the reason why I've done this is you remember from the earlier videos that the inside of this body is hollowed in such a way I'll be able to slide this pickup in from the control cavity in the back and push it round into its position there. So the hole I route in the top here will only be like a Stratocaster pickguard hole. So I don't want any pickguard on this. And equally, I wanted a P90 thingy for the front, because again, the hole I actually cut in it won't it hasn't got any tabs off the edge here for mounting screws. The mounting screws go through like every P90 in the centre there. So again, the only hole in there is the size of the pickup. So the top is going to be unscarred with ancillary holes to mount the pickup. So that's what I'm going for, and I think it's just going to look so smart. So there we go. Don't know where we're going to go next. I think the last thing in the previous 2 videos ago, I'd bent this up in the end to go on the face of the face of the headstock, so it matches the body. I was going to bind this with flame maple again, but I think I really will be going to the well one too many times if I try that. A, I'll be tearing my hair out, and B, I think it will be a disaster. So what I'm going to do is just get this glued on, cut it round and everything like that, and we'll just see what we can do. I mean, there's several things we could do. Probably the most likely is actually painting the binding on, masking it and spraying it, which I may well do. But yeah, let's get this glued on first. Don't want to think too far ahead. So rock and roll. Back with you when I can show you this glued on. Oh, there's a bit of imaginative clamping here, but you can see that I'm getting the veneer all glued down. Oh, I don't know if you can see it on the headstock, but obviously the worst bit is getting this curve tight around here, which I put this like scrap bit of dowel in and then clamp that down, and you can see that, you know, I've got squeeze out around there, so it should be okay. Again, with dark woods like that, it's quite, and with fussy grain, it's quite easy to fill if you have any problems. So we'll let this set now, and then turn our attention back to the body. I mean, I'll probably leave this all night, I think, and get back to it tomorrow. And then what we'll be doing is putting this double acting truss rod in. That can go in, and then we can glue the fretboard on, and you know, get working on the neck. Get the fretboard on it, you know, get working on the shape in the neck and things like that. Double acting truss rods are an absolute godsend. Let me go and find an Allen key and I will show you how they work. Okay, your double acting truss rod, this is a typical one that you see here. You've got two main parts to it, well, more than two, but you've got this top square bar and this round bar here. Now basically what happens is that you can both, this round bar at the bottom that goes into the bottom of the slot, you can basically effectively lengthen or shorten, and that affects which way it curves. So it's basically the two bars are welded together at the end, and some kind of threaded arrangement in here. This tube, this fat, you know, the chrome bit on the end here is welded to the top bar, and then the round bar at the bottom has got a nut or a screw inside here that will actually lengthen or shorten this bottom rod. So this is not the nut, the outside. This is just like a sheath with a stop on it that attaches to the top bar. So if you put a Allen key in there, and probably lengthening it, you can just see, like, well, let's do it drastically. So there, you can see how much that has bent, a tremendous amount. So that would actually curve the neck upwards with the pull of the strings. Now if you do it the other way, my tape has actually given away in the centre, but you can see, you know, now that's pulling against the pull of the strings, and believe me, they are probably one of the best things that have ever happened to for guitar maintenance. Having a biflex truss rod, they are a real bonus. You can adjust the neck so accurately with these, and if you put in, I mean, you don't need it probably on a 6-string neck, but with a bass neck that's even longer, if you put in carbon rods as well, carbon rods won't stop it bending, but what they will do is make it very consistent, so the truss rod works to its best potential. The neck will curve very nicely, not more one way than the other or whatever. But yeah, Biflex truss rods are bloody fantastic things. They are really good, and I would use them in anything but a neck that's specified, that's wanted with a vintage rod. Vintage rods are next to useless compared to these, basically. So that's what will be going in here. Yeah. Okay, next I'm looking at positioning the bridge. You would probably ideally do this with the neck on, but with a guitar with a a center line for the drop top, that to me is the vital reference sort of thing. I don't want the bridge off centered with that just to compensate for a wonky fitted neck. So when I put the neck on, the neck has got to be in line with that center join of the top, which we did, and it is. So I'm happy with that. So I've measured to the 12th fret on here, and basically if you look at this bridge, you can see the string saddles, the strings come off the saddles right at the front, so that's your position for your starting point for intonation. So I've drawn a line on here. I don't know whether you can see it, but this is where this is double the 12th fret, so this is the scale length of the guitar. So what you want to do is that the bass E string is going to be slightly longer, so I'll set that just behind the the scale length sort of thing. But I mean, the thing with this is you can see they've got at least 10 mil of movement on them for intonation, and providing you get it within a couple of mil, it's not an issue kind of thing, but may as well be as accurate as possible. And then the other line I've measured in front of it there is going to be the front of the bridge sort of thing. So I can take the saddles off now and then put the bridge on and drill the mounting holes for them, so we can get that done. It's quite actually convenient with this bridge because one of the mounting holes is directly in the center, so we can place that right over the center join of the top plate. So let's do that. So I'm lining it up now with the front of the bridge line I drew on here, and it's perfectly in the center. That screw hole is perfectly in the center, so I can center punch that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill drill a pilot hole for the screw now. For that, just put the one screw in first of all, screw the bridge in. I don't want to drill 3 holes yet. Drill 1 hole, screw the bridge on, and then make sure, I mean, if you drill all 3 and 1 hole isn't quite right, you'll be pulling the bridge offline. So drill 1, screw it on, center it up, then drill the other pilot holes through the bridge. So let's get, and I'm going to do this on the pillar drill, so we'll move over there. So let's get this center hole, pilot hole drilled. I prefer using the pillar drill for this. I mean, putting the bridge on is pretty accurate, and if you use a hand drill or something, I mean 99 times out of 100 it will be okay, but you don't want to start going in at an angle. So what I want to do as well, considering these screws are brass screws, I'm sure they're brass, or even if they're not, I don't want to risk it because brass can snap. What I just want to do is drill a pilot hole in the rosewood to clear the shank of the thing. It's just so easy to snap screws in this really hard wood. So I'm not drilling down any depth. I mean, if you look at the bridge, just that much shank goes through, so I've only got to drill down about 1/4 of an inch, probably just through the rosewood, and we'll be fine. So this doesn't have to be accurate, so I can just, I'm happy with that. And now we can screw the bridge on. So we've got centre screw in now, and I'm just going to check that the bridge is on square. I mean, I've done it to the line, but yeah, we slightly skewy, just a fraction. Right, well there we are, finally. A bridge on the guitar in the right place, hopefully. Bit more troublesome than lining it up than I thought, but it's all on there now. The one thing with these, you don't need to graunch these screws in. They're not holding the, they're not retaining the pull of the strings, because the strings go through on these 6 holes, and they're in like little pockets on the back. So just snug those up and that's fine. So there we go, we've got the bridge on now. What I'll do is I'll drill these 6 holes through while the bridge is on, and then at least they'll be centered. But you have to be quite careful with this, because you're using such a thin drill that the drill will tend to wander as you go through. So I want to get a drill that's the right size, the biggest you can. That's it. Yeah, so a 4mm drill is quite a tight fit in there, and I've got these new ones. So using the biggest drill you can through there, it more likely stays straight. So let's just get drilling those. You don't have to drill right through at this stage, but just enough so you know, you can pick it up when you take the bridge off and then drill all the way through. So that's that bit done. Next bit we can do, I think, is we can actually start planning out where the pickups go. Now we've got the bridge in place, we know that this is like a strap bridge, so voila, you've got a strap thingy, and you know, if you put that on there, then you know, I can estimate the pickup position there, and get it nicely in line. But we'll do that, we'll work on that and see where we get. So that's good. Get you back in a while. Hi, so what I've done here, you know, we've got the bridge in place obviously. I've used a strap pick guard and put it on to position the bridge, the bridge pickup hole. Now, yeah, it's quite it's worth spending your time doing this, because you know, put the new pickup cover on, and then you can, you know, you can line up the bridge pieces and the string path kind of thing. You know, the string path at the neck end is obviously just inside the heel of the neck. Do that for the bass and the treble strings, just to check that, you know, the strings go over the pickup nicely, you know, so one is not near the edge and the other's like wherever, further in. So get that done. I mean, I've drawn it now and tripled. It's just a case of, like, you know, really taking your time, making sure everything is right. Don't just plonk this on and go, oh, that's about where it goes, and drawing, oh yeah, we'll cut that out, and then you find out that the pickup is about 1/8 of an inch out alignment wise, sort of thing, which doesn't affect the sound, but it doesn't really look very nice. So that's what I've done. Now it's quite apparent that the Telecaster pickup is slightly more canted, kind of thing, slightly more at an angle. I don't, you know, I'm not too bothered about that, because when it comes to, like I say, if someone wanted to put more conventional Telecaster thing on it, there's tons of room to reroute that, and this base plate will cover any new routing you want to do for a Telecaster, for an exact Telecaster style bridge piece. But I'm going to stick with a strap angle for the pickup. I just think that, you know, the Strat is a more versatile guitar than the Tele, and that's how I want to press forward, is with the Strat bridge and that kind of thing. Horses for courses kind of thing, I think. But so what I'll do now is I'll take the bridge off. Now don't just bung all the bits back in the box, kind of assemble it, because the last thing you want to do is lose one of these little intonations, screws and springs, so keep it all safe. And we can, no, that's the wrong screw, but so we can now get ready to route this this pickup slot. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to use the Strat pickguard as a template and stick this on here, and then run a router around the inside. And the way I'm going to do that, I mean, I could clamp this, I guess, something like that on each corner, but there's probably a better way than that, and that's the old super glue and masking tape job. So if we take this pick guard, so now what we do, we've got masking tape on the bottom of this, masking tape there. We can glue this pick guard on with super glue underneath the masking tape in exactly the right place. Just a tiny bit of it, that's all you need. That looks absolutely perfect. That is now going to go nowhere, but just to make sure, give it a good press down. Now I'll bring you back when I've got the router ready to cut it. Now, just to show you what's going on here, I've got these very fine router cutters. The one I've got in the router machine for this job has got a much shorter cutting edge. It's only about 1/4 of an inch, but can you see just on there there's a little bearing, so it's bearing guided, but with a much shorter cutting thing. So basically like that. Now it's with these router cutters, they're available from Trend, and these bearings, I mean, you can't route a hole in the side of the Queen Mary with it, but like you can do ever such tight curves and things like this, but they sell these bearings in packs because they don't last too long. They give an advice on how many meters of routing you can do with them. So what I've done here, let me put this one back so I don't lose it. What I'm doing here is I've drilled out the basics of it because I don't want the cutter to work too hard. Now what I'll be doing, it's a close run thing, but here's the router set up, and you can see that if I go through a hole, it will just, a pickup hole, it will just follow the edge of the pick guard there and hopefully cut out the rosewood fine. So we'll give that a blast and see what happens. I really hope this goes well. Right, I just want to see where we are before going, show you before we start going right up to the edge. So I've routed that much out so far, but you can see I've just got to finish off round the edge now, so it's all looking quite good. Let's carry on. Yeah, I think that's good. The actual router's left a little bit of an edge on the top because the pick guard's so thin and there's a gap between, a vertical gap between the bearing and the cutters. Now I don't really want to lift the cutter up a little bit just in case it slips out. I'm happy to machine that off, or just hand clean that up. So let's get rid of the router from here. Get the old tape off. So good, that is the old super glue trick. Brilliant. And here's the hole now, which is really nice, and I can clean that up really quickly with a bit of sandpaper. I can feel that there is a little edge on it, so I just spend a little time off camera. Well, why wouldn't you? So now we've got really nice hole there, really happy with that. Let's have a bit of a test. And this has got a bit of polythene on it, but I'm sure it'll, there we go, drops in really nicely there. So now you remember, we remember what we did when we cut a big hole underneath here, sort of thing, probably like, you know, humbucker P90 size. So now when we cut the what's it in the back, we can thread this in, and well, I don't want to do it now, but you know, you can see the effect there. Really nice, really perfect fit with a nice gap around it. Really good. That's satisfying, isn't it? So now we can get on and we can do the front pickup, and things are starting taking shape. But it's really nice, you know, if you tried to cut this by hand from the top and draw around it and file it, I bet you these edges, you know, you'd have to drill. You could probably easily drill those out with the right size drill, and then go across with a saw or something. But you know, with the router, it's so much easier, as long as you don't make a slip, because then it's like Disastersville and it's, you know, plan B kind of thing. But you can see that's really nice now. Like I say, the advantage with the P90 is that there's no wings like this that we have to think about. We can just bung it straight in and just drill down and jobbed. So yep, I might get on and mark out the P90 now. So there we go. Thanks ever so much, guys.